And we will also look at it from multiple perspectives. So why do we want to do prior art search? Anybody? What is the advantage? Or what are the advantages? You can type it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and tell me. Why should prior art search be necessary before taking up any research?
To have an idea about what has been done and what has been researched about.
Okay, what has been done before? So one of the requirement for prior art search is that we come to know what has been done before. What are the sources of information about what has been done before? How do we find out what has been done before?
So we have databases like NCBI, wherein there are all sorts of research articles and papers like in PubMed. So these databases are from where we can search prior.
Okay, what else?
So researchers' patent claims.
Louder, please.
So researchers' patent claims, we can see that.
Patent, you said?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Which kind of patents? I mean, where would we go to look for patents? There are so many, every country has a patent office. So where will we search? Anybody?
WIPO, sir.
WIPO has PCT applications. What else? Which is the most popular source of all the patents?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, research sources can come from books, journal, magazine, newspaper also, sir.
Yes. We were just talking, Pratiksha, I think, mentioned about patent databases, which is very correct. There are different kinds of patent. There are 4 things: patent applications, abundant applications, patent granted, patent abundant. And then you have all the 4 are available. So Google Patents will be able to help you to search for patents, right? For abundant patent, we have created a database called as techpedia.in/patent. We have got about 0.9 million total, but around 0.4 or 5 million are already uploaded. So this database will give you access to abundant database, or you can also use, supposing sometimes this is not working, then you can go to this site, gyan.org/patent.php, same database. 2 students helped us to make this database. Then there is a lot of gray literature. Have you been told about Techpedia? Students?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Oh.
No, sir.
Oh, मेगा एक डिस्कशन होना चाहिए था. So techpedia.in has 200,000 projects by 550,000 students in the country. Engineering projects, biotechnology projects, pharmaceutical project. So when you do search, you must remember that not all student projects are published, isn't it? So
Yes,
if
sir.
a student has done a project in IIT Bombay or wherever, how would you find out? So let me show you. Techpedia.in. And I will search here, let us say herbal. Okay. The word herbal, we should also use the word herb. or plant, plant will of course be confusing because plant is also manufacturing plant, not just botanical, but different terms we will have to use. So if we look at these 212 projects that we have from VIT Nagpur, let me show it to you. You are not seeing it. You can see that now.
Yes, sir.
So I wrote just herbal, and I got these projects from UICT Mumbai, from VNIT Nagpur, from different places, IIT Roorkee. Search for therapeutic agent of herbal origin to target diabetes and cancer. Herbal appetizer. Aren't these relevant?
Yes,
IIT
sir.
Kharagpur,
Yes,
IIT Kharagpur, Thapar Institute of Engineering, Patiala. So you know, you have to click a click of a button. I now know what is happening in Roorkee, what is happening in Kharagpur, what is happening in Patiala, what is happening in Mumbai. All this sitting here, I can get it in a minute. And you can find out, no cost, no price, no database charges, no password required. Toxic microbial load in herbal drugs, somebody has to work on. Quality control, they can do that. Synthetic and biological studies of natural product. About 8,000 herbal remedies have been codified in Ayurveda, IIT Bombay. So, Government Engineering College in Valsad, percentage increasing the toluene, wound healing potential of new herbal formulation, JNTU, Andhra Pradesh, or Telangana, Hisar. So you can find, and these 99% of these projects will not be published because they are either undergraduate projects, most of them, some are postgraduate projects. So we need to be aware of that. Then of course, if I go to techpedia.in/patent and look for that. Are you able to see this?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I write here, let's say, again, I write the same word, herbal. Though there are many synonyms which we have to use. Please remember now, so this is a herbal composition for maintaining, caring the skin around the eye. This is a patent filed, it is abundant application, so it's no more valid. And all these patents, herbal acne control composition, these are open access now. Anybody can use them. You can use them. Many people who filed this application could not pay the fees for renewal, so they got abandoned. Now they are part of open access. We have put together two students, Devika Kaushal and Zaigam Khan, put it together. If you want to read how it was developed, this is how it was developed. All this is mentioned here. The Devika and Zaigam, two students from IIM Nagpur, and they were attending my class at IIM Ahmedabad. After graduation, they had some time on the weekend, they used this time. So you can now do, this is also prior art. Patent application, abundant patent, patent in existence, and abundant application. All the four are prior art. Anything published, shared, done, anywhere is a prior art. So herbal compositions, anti-arthritic herbal composition, Shantra, Merotra, filed application in US, then abandoned it. Shanta Merotra has many applications. Then the Randy Beaver's generation of botanical product utilizing biological activity as a marker. So there are different kinds of studies. All of these are available to you. And how many we have just now? We have about 72 entries. We will change the term. We will write botanical. Maybe there will be different numbers. Let us try. The terms, very important that we use right term. So we will see now botanical. botanical ingredient. They did not use the word herbal. So how many do we have? With botanical, we got about 20 entries. Then we can say on a specific problem, we can search. We can use phytochemical, then that will be different because phytochemical may not use botanical and may not use herbal. Let us see, phytochemical. So this is a database available to you all freely. We have done it for young scholars, students like you, who can develop new products, use it for research. So apple peel powder, and they have mentioned about phytochemical. They have not used the word herbal. They have not used the word botanical. So we have to be careful that we don't look for prior art only by the terms that we are familiar with. Once we find a useful reference, we should read it and then look at other words that author may have used and search on those words. So then we can, so here, phytochemical preservation treatment. Apple peel, how did they make powder of apple peel? And then make extraction of different kind of, for treating cancer. आप तो सेब का छिलका फेंक देते हो. So phytochemical, how many are we getting? We're getting about 9. So therefore, with different words, we are discovering different prior art, which may have been missed if I had used the word only herbal, or I had used the word only phytochemical, or I had used the word only botanical. So there'll be some cases where there more than one word is used. But my point is, we should try to develop a search strategy by writing the synonyms, by writing the words, which may sometimes be even contradictory, but are useful. We should look for other terms that may be used. Biomarker, for example. Now, biomarker has nothing to do with only these. Biomarkers are there in microorganisms also. So there will be obviously additional information we will have to sift, but biomarkers are in plants also. So there are patents here, biological markers, predictive anti-cancer response to insulin-like growth factor. Now, biomarkers, how many biomarkers have been there? There are about 44 biomarkers. Some of them may deal with plant-based substances, or they could be for biomarker for disease diagnostic purposes. So we can also have different kinds of crops. Somebody may not use the word crop or crops. I should have used the word crop, but anyway. So method of producing ethanol and electricity from sustainable renewable biomass. So now we discovered the word biomass. We didn't search the word biomass, isn't it? Do you realize that? How our search is becoming sharper and sharper. We are discovering words which we, in the first instance, we may not have been aware of. This is something that will happen with practice. If you do searches regularly, whenever you write any paper, any assignment, you do search, you will become sharper as the time passes. You will begin to learn and develop a skill. The biomass, are you able to see this screen? देखा मेरा screen दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir.
हाँ. So biomass को मैंने अभी bold कर दिया. So biomass word we had not used earlier. How did I get biomass? I was actually looking for crop, because this word crop was also here. Plants and or crops are grown in oxygen containing gas, hydrocarbon containing gas, etc., etc. Method for regulating the heat. Now the title will not give you an idea that it has anything to do with the biology or with plants. But so if we search only on the title, we will miss this innovation. So I'm looking for the abstract. And within abstract, I'm looking for different words which might hold a clue to the knowledge that I'm searching. So plant growth, plant preservation. I didn't write plant as yet. I've only written crop. So it has come out because it is mentioned here, production of crop by promoting plant growth without using toxic chemical. So this may be a method and composition and kit for promoting plant growth. Now this is saying it may be a herbal plant growth promoter because it is saying without using toxic chemicals. So you see, it is opposite of what we are looking for. We're not looking for, this is not telling us about herbal, it is telling about non-toxic. It is assuming that chemicals are toxic and those toxic chemicals are not in his kit. So he has developed this and we can find out. You see that? All these, this is a Korean patent. From Korea, somebody has applied it in US, abundant, we are able to find out about it. All of this. All of this. So we have seen some word. Let us try some other word. Can you mention some word to me now, which I have not used? Of course, biomass I have already mentioned, so don't use biomass. Any other word within the domain that we are looking at?
Sir, bioresources of fungicide, sir. Bioresources of fungicide, sir.
Fungicide will go into chemical also.
The harvest.
Harvest. Harvest is also used in solar energy, and you will notice that you harvest solar energy also, isn't it?
Biocontrol agent.
No, it's okay, but biomass we have talked about. So look at this. This harvest is about energy harvesting to form is a lubricant, energy saving lubricant, biofuel. Biofuel is there. So that is relevant to us. Harvesting algae, that is also relevant to us. So that's a good point. Harvest is not totally unrelated. It is harvesting lettuce, yes. So how many did we get? We get 420, but of course, as I told you, there will be many which may not be relevant, but doesn't matter. We have to work hard and find out and then locate that. Now, vein harvesting system, naturally, this has nothing to do with it's a blood vessel and how you harvest the veins. Physician, how does doctor do that? Using a section. Tool insertable into lumen and used to harvest the vessel section. Now, there's nothing to do with our problem, but nevertheless, there will be such problem sometime unrelated. So the word harvest is not very precise, but it is useful. Any other word?
Biofuel, sir, biofuel.
Biofuel, we got it. Biofuel, biomass, we already saw that. So any other word?
Bioremediation.
Microorganics.
Huh?
So bioremediation.
Bioremediation, that is a good word. So it will tell us about how mining areas and waste areas, waste sites can be reclaimed. So now you can see that BioWall, a bioremediation device in the form of cylindrical cartridge having an open mesh sidewall, etc., etc. So there are different practices of metabolic primers for detection of percolate reducing bacteria and method thereof. So bioremediation also includes microorganisms. So use same in environmental bioremediation. So bioremediation can be by plants, bioavailability. You see the point? But bioavailability need not be for biological source. Bioavailability can be of a chemical drug also. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So depending upon how much time we have, how much energy we have, how much patience we have, there are 34 entries of bioremediation, which will use either plants or microorganisms by definition, because bio means biological origin, source of remediation. But that was a good word. I must admit, I would have missed it. I wouldn't have thought about bioremediation. So there are two things we are learning. One, when we do alone, there's a limit to what our mind can imagine. When we do together, as we are doing now, I'm learning from you, you may be learning from me. I'm being honest that bioremediation hadn't come to my mind. Biofuel, bioenergy, biological, all that, biomass, herbal, botanical, all these words came to my mind, but bioremediation did not come. So the question is, it is useful to develop such a strategy and discuss that so that we can learn from each other and add keywords, add new words. Yes, anybody? Any other word can you think about? The same domain?
Sir, vegetation.
Yes, vegetation. Why not? Very good
Vegetation,
point.
sir. Flora.
Flora, vegetation, fauna, if you want to look at birds. So artificial soil and method for growing vegetation on sloped surface using the same. Yeah, these are again multi-layer vegetation support system. Somebody's mic is open. Please check whose mic is open. Megha, mute kar do. So there are 144 entries which have vegetation. And it is good that you have used. Somebody should write down all these keywords. Megha, इन सबको कहीं पर पूल कर लो. किसी स्टूडेंट को बोलना क्लास के बाद में सर्कुलेट करेंगे. Then you, what did you say the other word? Vegetation के अलावा क्या बोला अभी?
Fauna.
Huh?
Fauna, flora.
Fauna, flora. Let us write flora. Flora, fauna.
Sir, aquaculture.
Yes, aquaculture. That's also very right. Polyculture, aquaculture. So there are about.
So feedstock.
Field?
Feedstock, sir. Feedstock.
Feedstock can be chemical also. So naphtha is a feedstock in petroleum industry, isn't it? But we can check whether feedstock will give us herbal. We will check, but I'm not so sure. There are 246 entries which have used the word flora. Very good. Again, in botanical we got about 20, but in flora we got 244. Actually, the floral grouping or floral activities, the floral seems more popular word than fragrances, because fragrances come from flowers. So floral. So therefore you are getting into those aromatic plant which we would have missed otherwise. Good. Anything else?
Bioscopy. Biocontrol agent. Bioscopy. Biocontrol agent.
Bio indicator.
Bioscopy. Biocontrol agent.
No, see, anything you add when you do bio will include microorganisms as well as plants, correct? So when you write biocontrol, you can write biocontrol as one word. You can also write bio-control. Both will figure in differently. Let us see. So control of weed with fungal pathogen, that is biocontrol agent, correct? So this is biocontrol for soil-borne fungus, encapsulation of microparticles in teardrop-shaped polymer capsule of cellular size. So these are biocontrol agents. How many do we have biocontrol? We have about 12 entries on biocontrol. Let me see whether we use the word biocontrol separately. Does it make any difference? It should.
So we can use weed
No,
as
separate
well.
we don't have. Huh?
Weed as well.
Weed, yes. Weed will definitely there because weeds are used for, they're edible weeds. There are products made out of weed. This is about particle contamination from air by sifting out, collection of weeds, leaves and burrs, yes. So yes, different parts of the plant, leaf, weed, burr.
Some lichens, of seaweeds.
All of those can be put down. So what I'm trying to say, I will stop here. I wanted to convey the point that searching knowledge requires a search strategy. Search strategy requires keywords. We can put a plus sign, that means this and this. We can put a bracket, this with A, B, C, D, E, whatever number of word that we write. So weed control, weed food, weed herbicide, weed, different words we can put in the bracket. There are smart strategies. Not all search engines offer that. Our search engine doesn't offer that, but patent databases offer that. We can find those search strategies. Ours is basically Boolean search, any word, anywhere. But let's go further. If we have looked at database of patent, and we have looked at database, literature database, and we have looked at the papers database, three things we have seen. What else should we see to find prior art? Literature database I have seen. I have seen Google patents. And I have seen abundant patent. Now, what else should I see? Anything important we are missing? Huh? Boliye? At least one student should know in the class. What else should be searched? Our purpose is to do research to lead to some innovative outcome. We don't want to do what has been done before. So you have rightly mentioned we should look for PubMed or other such databases of papers. We should search on Google, of course, literature. We can search on Google patent, right? We can also search in the abundant patents, right? We can search in Techpedia, yes. What else should we search? Very important category of phenomena of prior art. Nobody is able to imagine? I'm sure you know that.
Sir, if the resources that we are looking for are even available or not, maybe
No.
feasible or
We are
not.
not. That question will come later. Sustainable supply chain, sustainable extraction, those points are separate. At this moment, we are looking for how do I know that research that I'm doing for, let's say, developing a product has not been done before. And I have searched literature. Do people who develop new products always publish a paper about it? Huh?
Excuse me, sir.
Huh?
So we can do a market survey.
Correct. Bilkul correct. Now, what are the ways of doing market survey? Given the limited time that we have, we can't go to every shop. So what shall we do, Ria?
So we can check the different products that are available in the market.
How?
So by searching like on Google, we can see what products are available.
So are there better ways of doing that? So there are, for example, there is a India Mart or there is Alibaba, correct?
Yes, sir.
Alibaba is a huge portal. India Mart is a big portal. Of course, you can search on the net products. So let's say somebody has developed fragrance from the earth. You know, then when the rain comes, there's a smell which comes from the soil. What is that gas? Anybody knows? Earthy smell when the first rain comes. Some of you might have noticed, at least in rural areas.
So not sure about the gas, but it's due to actinomycetes.
Well, gas is ethylene. Ethylene is one of the gases. There are many other gases. So the question now is that Somebody has found that he could extract that aroma from the soil, made a beautiful fragrance of earthy smell, and I have not published a paper, have not filed a patent. He has kept it as a trade secret and goes to the market. So we also will look up the products in the market, correct? Sometimes.
It's the same idea. What about this?
Pardon?
The same idea. I was thinking about this.
Yes. No, I see a point that we should look for products in the market, in the databases, online. And if there are clusters, supposing I'm going to invest 5 years of my life in a product development, and I discover after 3 years or 4 years, oh my God, it had already been developed. 4 years, precious years of my life have gone waste, isn't it? Why should I do that? All of you are unique. Is there any clone in our class?
No, sir.
नहीं है ना? तो
No,
यूनिक
sir.
लोग फिर वही काम क्यों करेंगे जो हो चुका है? यूनिक लोगों को तो यूनिक काम करना चाहिए. Unique people should do unique work. Isn't it true? Am I
Yes,
right?
sir, but choices can be
Yes, sir.
similar.
Choices.
Yes,
What is the
sir.
choice? You are a unique person, but you want to do something which has been already been done. Is that a choice? Yes, you have a choice. You can become part of the crowd. You don't want to stand apart. So whether Pratiksha came to this world or not wouldn't make a difference, because what Pratiksha is doing is what everybody else is doing. So it doesn't matter really. Is that a choice? Yes. Some people want to be part of crowd. That's fair. Okay. But then for them, why will we spend so much energy in organizing BIIS? Isn't it? So we are organizing BIIS to make each one of you, to help you become, I'm not saying make, to help you become an original thinker, an innovative product developer, potentially an entrepreneur, someone who through their own genius will solve problem not just of India, but the whole world. Have you heard about Gitanjali Rao? How many
Yes,
have
sir.
heard about Gitanjali Rao?
Sir, she is the first Times Kid of the Year.
Which magazine?
Time.
What did she do? One of the things, she did many things, but tell me one most important thing for which was mentioned in her citation.
Low cost
Sir,
water purification,
yes,
Huh?
sir.
lead and all.
Water purification.
Which contaminant?
Lead,
And
arsenic.
no. Arsenic was not there, to the best of my knowledge. You can check up. Now, this little girl of 15 years did something on which some universities are now working. And she did many such solutions, not just one. So the whole world now knows her name. At the age of 15, she's on the cover page of a very popular, reputed magazine such as Times. This is what is possible. Her parents must have told her, do something different, do something better, do something unique. So she could achieve in young age a distinction that made her world famous. Each one of you has the potential to do so. Prior art is a very important part of determining your destiny. If you would do what has been done before, then you will be one more person who also ran, as they call it. In a race, there are many people who are running, and 90% of the people will be called as they also ran. They also participated. Only few make the mark. And therefore, my suggestion to all of you is that when you do prior art, look at any product, look at any process, look at any literature, look at any patent, look at any student project. And we have done these databases because we want to reduce the time that you will all have to spend to find out. Why do we are not going to get any commercial return from the databases that I showed you, right? Techpedia, SRISTI.org/WSA, techpedia.in/patent. And there's another database that you can find. I will write down gyan.org/ Gyanidhi.php. It is a polytechnic database. All these databases are open access. Why are we doing that? We are trying to do that because each one of you has limited time and one life to live. If you can use these databases and we can save your time, our hope is that the time so saved you will use to make your research more purposeful, more meaningful. And hopefully some of you, at least, if not all of you, will make it open for people to use. Open innovation. Some of you might like to patent, that's fine. But some of you might like to share it openly with the society, let everybody benefit. And that also is a very, very meaningful way of going forward. Not everything is patented. So farmers whom we met in the Shodhyatras were so kind that they shared their knowledge in open. Of course, we mentioned their name, we mentioned their location. There's one more database that I'll mention, which is a recently launched. And this is based on Honeybee Network's work, grid.undp.org.in. So let me show you this, just for the sake of awareness. It has only 1,500 entries, not too many, but it has some advantages which other databases of ours don't have. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let me show you this. So you can see this database, Grassroots
Yes, sir.
Innovation Database for innovation, for and from Grassroots. All right. So UNDP and Honeybee Network. Honeybee Network has partnered with UNDP and developed this. So let's look at waste. Some of you may be interested in methods of using waste. So there are different practices. Tobacco waste has been used. Eco-friendly napkin disposal and recycling system, sanitary napkin that women use in their periods, how to dispose them off. So there's an entrepreneur who has developed this under circular economy. There are efforts and they use some bio-waste to control this. So those are there. Mushroom, how do you use agri-waste to grow mushrooms? She has developed that. Scrap online, you have waste, how do you sell it? Even that is given. So these are for Grassroots, and there are some life-saving smart masks for sewage cleaners. They deal with the human waste or other waste. What kind of solution we can develop? Fabrication model of bottle crusher at railway station. How can you say design and development of sewage cleaner, filter? So all these are bio-waste is used to make handmade paper. So these solutions can be obtained at a flicker of a button, but you can also search on let's say you want to know about pest. So you will find out the practices from our database. You can search this, more information. You can see the map, where it is located. Prior art search is given here, some references, innovator's address is given there from Idukki, his practice is given there, and it is a practice on pepper, where he controls the pest. Correct? So you can find so many solutions for pest. That is, there's a sprayer, there's a blood planter, Let's see. Pot borer. So let us see. Sorry, this I've already seen. So pot borer and gram crop. You can search in here and find out what has been done by this farmer. So you can see that Pongamia leaves have been used, ground for controlling pot borer. Prior art search is also given, and this is how it is. So there are different databases that are available. I have shared with you 7, 8 databases, all open access, all free for use, and you can conveniently use them. You can also do market research. You can look at databases of products. There are product finders, industrial product finders. There are one more source I should mention, which is important and sometimes may not be revealed easily. So we had a device of milking machine, a manual milking machine. And although we recognized him because in developing countries, nobody had developed a manual milking machine. It was later on motorized. But Alfa Laval, if you look at the history of Alfa Laval, they had also developed a milking machine run by cycle or by manually way back 100 years ago. So sometimes we also look at historical resources, archives. There is a site called as archive.org, archive.org. Have you seen this? Let me show you. So we go to the archives and see a lot of free sources are available there. So these are internet resource of free books. So this is Internet Archive is a non-profit library of millions of free books, movies, software, music, website. So let us search here. And we will search herbal again and go. And did we find anything? Let us see. So there's a radio herbal essences, sound of herbal. We don't want to get into that. Herbal Institute, Healing Institute, Honest Herbal. There's a book here, free book available. We will not go to DJ, which is herbal. There's some DJ who has put a lot of his recordings. Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine is available here. You understand? Megha dekh rahi ho? Megha? Sir. ये किताबें आपके लिए भी जरूरी हैं भाई. जी sir. So 500 herbs and remedies, you can download it free. Right? So archive.org is a powerful resource done by volunteers all over the world. Herbal Delights, Botanical Safety Handbook, American Herbal Product Association, Botanical, Herbal Wisdom, etc., etc. And there are more results and more results and more results and more results. Herbal Solutions for Healthy Living, Irish Herbal Cures from around the world, Herbal Wisdom. This you might not see sometimes on internet in the first few pages. They may be there. Of course, when you search on internet, you will find it. But you will find it in interior pages because these resources are not promoted and they may not be cataloged. So when you search on first 2 pages, you may not find it, but inside you will find it. So remember that there are huge databases available. This has millions. 1 million is 10 lakh. Millions, it has 100 million maybe, books, database, all free. They don't charge for access. They rely on generosity to fund their infrastructure. People donate, and that's how. So when there was a pandemic, a lot of people started using this because they were at home. What do? They can't afford to buy a lot of books. So they started downloading. 1.5 million users every day. And they were downloading how much? 70 petabyte, not gigabyte, petabyte of data. Did any one of you know about this? Have I?
Sir, I knew about this, but on my Wi-Fi connection, this doesn't open up.
Sorry?
Sir, I knew about archive.org. So in college, we used to do a lot of search over archive.org, but at home, my Wi-Fi doesn't allow this site to open.
Okay, doesn't matter. The reason is, for those of you who want to see this site, herbal medicine, herbal delight, all of these you can find here. I'll stop here. Why is it coming up? Now it's okay. So time is up. Any question that you have, I'll be happy to answer. Any question, any doubt? Yes, Saanya, you have any question? Any question, any doubt about how? Now some of you might ask a question, sir, but then there are so many sources, it will take a lot of time. No, it will not take a lot of time. It will, if you do smart search, carefully construct your search strategy, put quotation mark around the words that you must find in the text, then search will become more precise. So there are different techniques of searching. The word which you put in quotation mark are must. Another word that you mentioned may be there, may not be there. So search is like this, that it look for first the record where all the things are there, then 2 out of 3 words are there, then 1 word is there. So that's how the search is organized. But remember that it is not enough to rely only on Google search. To show you just one last point, let me show you. Let me search these words on Google and then you will realize what I'm talking about. Because Google has been manipulated now, because people who do advertising influence, so those products come up first. So what is coming on the top of herbal? Herbal medicine. Some most popular plant, herbal medicine, herbal medicine, herbal medicine, herbal medicine, herbal product. Did I find any literature review, that literature paper? Did I find any patent here? Did I find any book here? No. Next page I go and I get some little bit, some YouTube, and then I get introduction to herbal medicine chapter. But again, medicine is the one most.
The screen is not visible. You need
it's
to
not visible.
share it, sir.
Sorry. Okay. All right. So now you can see. So what I was showing you, that when I look for herbal And if I rely only on Google, I will miss the mark. I will miss the mark. Now just see, when I press herbal, what do I find most of the time? Herbal medicine, herbal medicine, herbal medicine, herbal medicine. I may not be interested in herbal medicine, no? I may be interested in herbal dye. So yes, I should write that. And here you have herbs. Only one book will come here, I had seen. So far, no book has come. There is no PubMed reference. Do you see that point? There is no book, there is no patent, there is no PubMed reference. And if you rely on Google, this is what will happen to you. So I'm warning you. Don't think by searching on Google you will find the most relevant references. You will not. Google has been tamed. It has been optimized to sell things. It is not optimized to promote learning. What I've shown you today, when I search in Techpedia, when I search in patents, abundant patent, when I search in Google patent, I didn't do that, but you can do that. You will find a lot of references there, relevant references. Yes, if you go to Google Scholar, you might find more references, I agree. But Google per se will not give you too much. And we didn't get any single free book there. So archive was not optimized to show its entries into its record on Google. So India Mart was not there. Globally product was there, India Mart was not there. But product were much more than the literature. Within literature, we didn't find too many references on the first 2 pages. 99% people don't go beyond the first page or second page when they do Google search. And if you behave like that, you will miss the most important references. So my idea is also to warn you not to rely only on Google search. And even on Google, don't rely only on Google main search, but also go into Google Scholar. If you go to Google Scholar, surely you will find better results. But again, in Google Scholar, you may not get the archive books. There you have to go to archive.org, or you have to go to other sources that we mentioned. Any question before we close? Any comment, any question, any suggestion? Anybody has a better idea about doing search which I have missed? Now you will do 2 things. First, you will be doing literature review for certain sites where we have had Shodhyatras. Megha, who will explain that? Megha?
Sir?
वो शोधयात्रा के पाथ के लिए we were asking them to review literature on that, no?
Yes, sir. We will discuss now. We have
you-
already shared the Excel sheet.
Okay, so friends, what you will have to do is you have to locate papers based on people's knowledge. What has happened is over the years, large number of scholars have gone to communities, collected their knowledge, published papers, never ever shared the paper in local language. Forget about local language, not even in English. They have shared with the communities from whom they collected the data. This is against the honeybee network philosophy. We believe it is exploitation. So what are we trying to do? In Gadchiroli, we started this process, and we want to do that for all the Shodhyatras we have done so far. We would like you to look at the region within which the Shodhyatra was. So let us say, if Shodhyatra was in Wardha, you can look at the entire, what is that called? That region. क्या बोलते हैं उसका नाम मेघा? Maharashtra को बच्चा है? Anybody from Maharashtra?
Yes, sir. I am from Maharashtra.
So what is that region called? Then
Vidarbha.
Vidarbha.
Yes, sir.
So then let us say if you get responsibility for Wardha Shodhyatra to do literature review, you will find out references of local knowledge, whether plants, trees, climate, soil, based on people's knowledge. Somebody has done documentation. We will pool it. You will pool it together And then we will send it back to the villages where we had walked as a mark of our gratitude that look, our students have put it together. As a volunteer will translate that into Marathi, and we will send that to all the villages, school teacher, village panchayat, saying that, look, this is the knowledge that people have collected from Vidarbha region. Please use it for whatever worth it is. Maybe you can make a table of these plants used, this part of this plant used for this purpose by so-and-so, reference. And if it is, you will not find the name of the people, unfortunately. In most 99.9% papers will not cite people. They have been made anonymous. But as you must have been told, in Honeybee Network, we don't want to make people anonymous. So just as you will compile, the compilation will also acknowledge your contribution. You will be the compiler of this knowledge and your name will be there. And then when we send it from Honeybee Network to those villages, it will be a kind of a remediation of a great injustice that has been done to the people whose knowledge has been collected by scholars in the past without ever sharing that. None of you should do that, please. In your life, whenever you collect any knowledge for your work, findings of your research must be shared with local people. They are kind, they are generous. That doesn't mean that we should exploit their generosity, Somebody comes and collects your knowledge, your interview and all that and publishes under their name. How would you feel? You will feel cheated, you will feel shortchanged. Don't do that. Please don't do that. In the BIIS, we want everybody to follow the best ethical principle. And wherever you go, whatever you do in your life, remember this, that we will acknowledge oral communications. We will acknowledge knowledge of the people. We will try, if possible, to make them co-authors in our publication. All the patents that have been filed by NIF are in the name of people. No scientist has been put as an inventor, even if they have done the value addition work. All patents, 1,000 and odd patents at nifindia.org/IPR. You can search. They are in the name of, I can write down at the website, you can search all the patents. And these are in the name of farmers, healers, tribals, not in the name of scientists. More than 1,000 plus. So we have created this institution, we have created this benchmark where knowledge of people will always be attributed to people and not to the scientist. It is not NIF's knowledge, it is knowledge of the people. So please keep this in mind. I'll close here. If there are any questions, any comments, I can come back and we can discuss it again. All right, Megha?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
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 So, students,
Yes, ma'am.
so I have already shared one Excel sheet with you